All right, there it is. We're live now. So what's been up, man?
Not much. I've been on the road a lot. How about you?
Not too much. Getting ready for Harrisburg. But are you gonna be there this year?
As of right now, no. I'm hoping that we can figure out a way to make that happen, but I'm supposed to be in Lake Charles, Louisiana that weekend, but that's kind of up in the air too, so we'll see.
All right. How was the season last year for you?
Not too bad. It was the travel and all that was pretty good. Editing all the content from the jamborees took a while, and but we got to do a lot more with the tough trucks, which was cool because we hadn't gotten to do much in 2018. We had started stuff. We were going to do a bunch with tough trucks, and it just kind of fell through. And then last year we got to do a lot more, and we got to work with Pat on with the Storm series too. So that was neat.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me use that footage for Bloomsburg. I really appreciated that.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then thanks for letting us use your kind of archive of footage you had from those jamborees because we needed it. We had a lot to cover going in there fresh. But of course, I don't know how those are going to be this year.
Yeah, no problem. So what's the plan for this year?
A lot of stuff is up in the air. This is probably the most up in the air start that we've ever had. This year, we're credentialed into the jamborees again, so we're right as of right now we're doing them, but there's still some stuff that remains to be seen as to whether or not it's actually going to happen. And then we're going to be doing some stuff with All Star, and of course they run the rough trucks. They call them, rough trucks. They're out in Ohio and Western Pennsylvania, and they're monster trucks. And we have some other stuff in the works that I hope comes around. That'll be up here in the Northeast, more near uh, Pennsylvania and New England, and more Northeast stuff that we usually do, but with some different promoters. So we'll see.
Yeah. How did you like this past season?
I'm sorry.
How did you like this past season?
It was fun. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. We got to try some new stuff. We had Tim Howard from the old Dazed and Confused Tough Truck doing some pit reporting for us in Lima and Bloomsburg, and we were hoping to have him in Indy, but there was some business deals that just he was already committed to that uh, he couldn't make that event, and but he should be back this year. Uh, I don't know exactly what the roles will be, but we're hoping to do more of kind of what we did, just maybe streamline it a little bit, make it a little more YouTube friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I think we're going to be doing some mud drag stuff this year as well with the MRA.
Yes. How is he doing? Didn't he need a surgery or something?
He should be getting a back surgery here in excuse me in either March or April.
Yeah.
So by the time we need to hit the road, he should be all right, and then he'll be at select stuff with us, and he's um he's taken a little bit. He's backing off the motorsports stuff a little bit for a while, I think, until he can get his back and everything back to the way he's happy with it. He's doing some stuff up there in New York with lives, and hopefully he'll be okay. That was our main thing with like we miss him. We miss seeing him at the track, but it was more important that his back and everything is good because he was really hurting there for about a year.
Yeah, I remember Bloomsburg. He had a little bit of pain.
Yeah, and then he was doing a lot of truck prep and driving a ride truck with he's driving an old Terraduster 3 ride truck that's Jay Milligan's All American Thriller, and it's leaf sprung, and it's real hard on your back to do that, 6 7 hours a day.
But yeah. Did you do any storm events last year?
Yeah, we did one in
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that actually. Jefferson County.
it was Jefferson. It was Myersdale, Pennsylvania. I can't
Oh
remember
okay.
if that was Jefferson County or not, but yeah, we did Myersdale, Pennsylvania, and hopefully you're going to be doing more with them too. I like their program. They have a good. I hopefully Pat can grow it the way he wants to, and kind of get things really rolling with that, because I know he's been really pushing to get that series back up and running the way he wants it.
Yeah. Let me uh let me get back with you for a second. I'm not sure if the stream is running right. Can the stream hear us okay? I'm gonna check it real quick. Not sure if the stream is running right or not. Oh yeah, it's running okay. All right. Yeah, we're good. But so how long have you been recording Tough Truck events?
Tough Truck since 2016, and that was sort of by accident. But I have some old fairgrounds footage from 90s, early 2000s probably, and if you grow up anywhere near Pennsylvania, you'll see Tough Truck. So it was kind of getting into the monster trucks. It was a matter of time before we ended up doing Tough Truck stuff. And I enjoy recording the Tough Truck stuff more a lot of the time, because
Mm-hmm.
you have a wide vehicles in the class. It's the sort of it's always a nice group of guys to get to know. They always kind of treat you like family.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun too. It doesn't take too much to build a tough truck. Uh, just pretty much need like a old vehicle and little work to it, and pretty pretty much less than $1,000 to get something decent going for to run a tough truck event.
Yeah, we actually have an '88 Bronco 2 sitting out here that
Mm-hmm.
talking about putting a cage in and doing a couple of small suspension mods to make it worthy. And then we have a second Blazer trying to get keep trying to convince Tim Howard to help build a mod out of it, but it's in the weeds for a while. But the chassis is in really good shape. The rails aren't busted out, and the body needs to come off of it anyway. But it's a real nice truck otherwise.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't go very far before rolling over, though.
We were gonna basically we were gonna skin it and put a cage on it, and then just sure up the frame rail, gusset up the frame rails a little bit to make it worthy of that mod class, and then figure it out from there. Well, that definitely we're gonna lean toward a fiberglass body or steel skin. I wasn't real worried about matching this. I would like to keep the '77 aesthetic on it, but if I can't, I being around all you guys, I get itched to go racing, which I've
Mm-hmm.
never really since I had go karts. That was the last time I went, and I didn't do it on any level. Like just little stuff around where I lived, and it was you know it it definitely a sickness, because I can't. I've had to I had to go full time into doing the video this year because it was starting to take up more time than my day job. So being around the racers, definitely now I kind of want to go racing. So I thought, if we can't get that '77 working, I can at least make a stock class, the Bronco 2 run worthy for the stock class, and try to do something with that. But I've seen a lot of those Bronco 2s out of Fawn Grove over the years. So
Yeah, I did get a question to see if I can turn your audio up. I got it maxed out, so hopefully that's better.
if I can, second. Is that any better?
Yep. Uh, yeah, I think that's better. But will you do anything to the motor of the Bronco 2 if you would make it a modified?
The 2 would probably the Bronco 2 probably wouldn't do anything for the modifieds, but
Oh,
the
I thought you
oh,
meant the Bronco 2 was going to modify it for a build.
no, '77 Jimmy, or
Oh,
we
okay.
have a '77 sitting out here, and it doesn't need much. It just is the it's already in its stock form. It's already pretty tough. It was a plow truck, and it's got a stock 400 cubic inch Chevy under the
Oh,
hood, so it doesn't need a whole lot. I'd hate to tear that engine up, but cheaper than buying a race engine right now. So, but
Yeah.
we'll see. It's the weeds. I've been talking about doing it since I've met Tim. So it's it
Yeah,
probably
that 400 will put out plenty of power, I bet.
yeah. I just have to figure out how to basically, from what I understand, like I'm way out of my element with the engines and stuff, but I can noodle around with it enough that I think if I had help with it, I could probably learn my way around it. But the from my understanding, all I had to do was kind of learn how to tune it, and you can get a lot out of a 400 cubic inch Chevy because it's big for a stock engine. It's
Yeah, I know with the Ram modified I had at Harrisburg, that thing was able to spin all four tires in first and second gear, maybe even third if I remember correctly. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of power in that 400.
are you bringing that thing out anytime soon or still?
Uh, I did get an alternate position. I'm the first alternate for Harrisburg, so probably most likely not Harrisburg. We're gonna see what's going on. I do want to get my Volkswagen Golf GTI running good before I do anything else because I've wanted that car for many, many years. And I've always wanted a rally car also for many, many years. So this is almost my dream vehicle that I got my hands on. So I want to get that going. That will probably be the first priority, and then the modified. We still have to put the King shocks on the front end for the Ram modified. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I have a '96 Jetta sitting out here that I'm trying to get rid of if anybody wants it for a couple bucks.
what year?
'96 Jetta.
Yeah, 96. Uh, yeah, this
It's
Golf is a 91.
Yeah, it's this car is beat up. It just I was gonna sell it for a crush car, but nobody wants to haul it out of here. It's
See if anyone wants it for tough trucks and see if they can set the airbag off.
I think the airbag's already out of it because I had to pull the ignition and everything out. The steering wheel lock. I was going down the highway and the steering wheel, the shift lock kicked in and I couldn't turn, so
Oh.
I had to dismantle the ignition on the side of the road with a hammer and a screwdriver. So the airbag, I think, is actually removed from the steering wheel. I think I didn't put it back in because we kept getting when we put the new ignition on, we kept getting shorts, and I was afraid it was going to set the airbag off when I was driving down the road.
Did you ever see any good airbag shots going off in tough trucks?
From your videos, yeah, you were at the Buck. I noticed with the guy who had the Lincoln or whatever.
Yeah, the Lincoln town car,
Yeah,
and plus the Saturn Ion, I think it was.
yeah. I have access to a box van. I've been real interested to see if we could run
Uh,
that thing and see what to do, but I don't know who would let us do it.
I do. Lebanon, Pennsylvania. They've had actual dump trucks. They've
Yeah,
had FedEx trucks, UPS trucks, mobile homes. So they would probably let it happen. I'm not kidding.
I might see if we can hook that up. I don't know if we. It's been sitting over here for a while. We just have to get it running enough to make one pass, and I'd be happy.
Yeah. But so what else? Is there any place you really want to go to this year, like Wildwood or anything like that?
I'd like to try to get Wildwood. That's always lined up with either family stuff or another event we've been doing or something, or just finances. I'd like to go to Wildwood and do the tough trucks because the Monster blog already does the monster truck, and I've worked with them a few times
Mm-hmm.
doing monster truck stuff. And then Chris Parrish and I did an all-star show, and the footage didn't end up coming out in a way that I could cut it up, but he was real nice about he was covering the monster trucks, and they had the mod class there, and I think I don't know, it's like 8 trucks, but they did a full qualifying and race session, and he was actually really cool about letting us do coverage of the. He recorded from his side of the track the tough trucks, and we were going to do a coverage of that, but it rained so much that they really couldn't get any traction there. And like the mods, when on asphalt with mud on top of it with that much power, you're just not going anywhere. They had to basically roll around the track,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it was still a good show. It wasn't something that I could cut up into an episode, but they were pretty open about it. So I would like to actually go out and cover the tough trucks at Wildwood sometime. And I want to get to Virginia Beach, but we're always doing another show when Virginia Beach happens.
Yeah, I know. You were talking about the mud. I know that can be quite a challenge to get around the course, but I think my CJ7 is. I'm starting to come around with mud racing in my Cherokee and my CJ7 because last year I got third place at one event, and then I got another third place the like 2 years before that, before I took my 1 year off. It's a lot of fun in the mud though, with the challenge to try and get the truck to rotate without understeering in the mud.
Yeah, we did the show we did for Pat. There was a miscommunication with the water truck, and
Uh oh.
they between rounds and just washed out the track. And Arthur Chester was running both classes. He had Zach Liepart in Lindsay's truck
Yeah.
because Lindsay went a demo derby, but Arthur went in. They had Pat did a. It was like a Chicago style, and there was a loop on each end of the track where they go
Okay.
around the top little bump, and Arthur spun out backwards, went into the turn backwards, and spun back around and went into the turn straight without missing any of the time. Like he still made a good time, but I know if you can get them to hook up in the mud is nice, and then if you're just good at driving on snot, then you can be a lot of fun to watch. But it's impressive when you can get a good mud race going. I know Brookville, Jefferson County's been notorious for getting rained on over the years. It hasn't the last three, fortunately, but I know it's. I think I've seen video of you there in the mud.
Yeah, it was. That was one. That was like a 2017 or something. I got third place there in the mud. Uh, it just like downpoured the day, well, the whole day, and I don't. I think it downpoured before the first event, and it was still wet during the second event, and yeah, I just swung swung the steering wheel around and tapped brakes to try and get the back end to slide out, which can be tough sometimes in the Cherokee, but had a little bit of luck and got third. But
Yeah,
uh,
actually wish I still where I grew up we had fire roads and stuff, and I'd always you growing up around the tough trucks, I always thought it would have been cool to do a course through the woods like that. It wasn't real long, but it would have given your track time would have been around probably with today's trucks you'd have been around 58, 59 seconds, maybe a minute with the slower trucks. But it was nice because you had this. It was real packed down from being run on with log trucks over the years, and then once we got the property, it was we just mowed it out, and I would take my Volvo back there and run it as fast as I could, and ended up tearing the transmission up in that car pretty bad doing that. But
yeah, I got a question from a urban explorer, but he's asking how many shows do you plan on entering this year? I know you don't drive, but you do have a YouTube channel if you want to tell everyone about it.
yeah, we're Back Channel Productions on YouTube. We do over the years mostly monster truck coverage, but we've been trying to diversify that a little bit. And like I said, we'll be doing some. I'm not sure how many, but we're looking at doing at least two MRA events this year, the Motor Racers Association events, and then we're trying to do more tough truck stuff. And right now, we're doing two. I'm doing a lot of recording for Monster X, but those are not going on the channel. That's promo stuff that kind of helps pay for us to do what we do. But I'm doing Monsters of Destruction, so we were in Madison. That episode is going to go up here soon, and then we'll be in DuQuoin, Illinois in about 2 weeks doing another show for them, and hopefully they can grow that um, from what it is, because that was actually one of the best little arena shows I've been to in a while, and I wish the crowd had been bigger, but the show itself was awesome. And then in the summer, like I said, we're up in the air as far as what we're doing. I know we're credentialed into the jamborees, so we will probably be there most likely. And again, I like doing the jamborees when the Tuff Truck guys are being treated well. But uh, I know there's a lot of stuff up in the air with the jamborees and the Tuff Truck racers, so hopefully that gets all sorted out, because I really did enjoy doing those. We got a lot of time in around the Tuff Trucks, and but that's hard for me to answer how many events, because there's so much. Like I said, this is the most up in the air I've been going into a season. I couldn't tell you why, but it's just something. There's been a little change in the landscape as far as promoters wanting people videoing their shows, which is another reason I like the Tuff Trucks, because you guys always want somebody there to record it. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't get. I've never thought either class really got the attention they deserved growing up, and certainly now it's like it's cool though. There's all these. It's nice. There's all these outlets though, up and down the north and south and east coast. And what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name, but it's like a NW fan or something on YouTube.
NW fan too.
Clark County show, which is always insane, but it's cool. It seems to be the Tuff Trucks seem to be a pretty nationwide community as far as wanting their stuff out there, which I really is good for someone like me. And the monster trucks, it's been a little more closed off this year. I'm sure that'll change getting into the summer, but as far as first quarter, it's been so up in the air as far as what we're doing. So I'm just now starting to get stuff racked up for summer. So I can't say yet what we're doing. We will be in Lake Erie and Jennerstown, Pennsylvania again, and I know I'm real happy that I think they brought the Tuff Trucks back for Jennerstown, because that was another one. That was I think that was an invitational event, and it was still really, really good. It was only 8 trucks, but it was a really, really good race, even on asphalt with smaller jumps. It was all Cherokee Sports, and it was a good group of trucks.
Yeah. Urban Explorer also wants to know how many shows I'm planning to attend, and to be honest, I'm up in the air also. I have 4 Tuff Trucks I have to work on: the GTI, the Modified, the Cherokee, and the CJ7. But once everything warms up, I'll start wrenching a little bit harder on everything, and hopefully I'll get everything back together and ready for shows. I also want to get an enclosed trailer. That's been like a dream of mine, other than owning a garage to work on everything. So I don't know if I'm gonna get an enclosed trailer first or get everything back together first, but we'll see what happens. And my mind went to a blank here. Well, you talked about an NW fan too. Did you see the talk I had with Marty Hansen last weekend?
I didn't. I need to go back and watch it, because I started watching. Did this last year, and I was real happy to see you got Ed on here with the Mean Green. But
Yeah.
I need to catch up with what you've been doing.
But
On the road, I just
yeah, he's a friend of NW fan too, who also records Clark County. So I got to talk to him last week. He was pretty cool. And let's see. I had something else in the back of my mind. I think. Oh yeah, the jamborees. They've been having some really good horses the last 2 years. Did Bonnier just take control of the 4-wheel jamborees last year? Because I know the year before they had a really nice long course also.
they've had it for a while, but the course control was done by Lee and Leah from WHR, or well, Lee with WHR Motorsports, I think, did a lot of the track building. Excuse me, and then Leah Burdett, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She handled a lot of the timing and scoring. I'm not sure what their business relationship was. They're no longer there, unfortunately, so I don't know what. I don't think anybody really knows what's going on with as far like Bonaire. Bonaire brought in all new people this year,
Okay.
so hopefully it'll be good. I mean, everybody hopes it'll be good, but I think they haven't put out a rule book or anything for the 2020 season or any of the point, like how the point series is going to work or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They usually put stuff out already, and I know everybody's getting a little bit nervous because there's not any real information as far as what's going on with the tough trucks.
Like if they're even gonna have them.
I mean, they're listed as one of the events. It's, but I don't. I hope so. It was
Mm-hmm.
by far. I mean, everything's great there, but as far as the show went, like the stock class tough trucks were amazing in Bloomsburg. That was
Mm-hmm.
especially, and I was wary when they had the jumps on the front stretch this year. Or this past year, I was like, I hadn't seen that done there before. I was interested to see how it was going to work, but they didn't slow down at all. It was right there in front of the crowd. They were destroying some of those trucks.
Yeah, I know we had border patrols roll over last year, and who was it? Mara Spencer, her Bronco broke a wheel off during the Saturday night show.
She got the fast time when she did that too, and then
Yeah.
she almost rolled Sunday afternoon. She landed off the last jump, and the truck started hopping sideways, and she drove out of it. But it never went up on two wheels. But you know when a truck starts bouncing sideways and it looks like it's gonna go.
Yeah, and fishtailing.
Yeah, she did. And then like Doug Paust with Red Solo or Solo Cup, he did some. I wish I could remember. I think it was Saturday night. He did some crazy run where he came off the first of the coming back toward the finish line. They had those two tabletops, and he came over one sideways and just missed the wall, but never let out of it. And then the Faust team, of course, like Rachel and Bill Hess was driving their other Bronco there, and just it was some of the best. I didn't expect them to go that hard over those two jumps, so especially the last jump. They were all just flying across the finish line. So
Yeah, I need to run there this year. The last 2 years I didn't get to run, so hopefully this year I'll have something together and ready for Bloomsburg this year if they are gonna have us. Because the last two tracks have been awesome, and I never got to run any of those bigger tracks yet. I think that would be something I would really like to take my CJ7 to if I don't get to bring my modified down there. But
they seem like hopefully since they got new people. I mean, hopefully they take some of the good cues from that track because um, it was weird. The good thing is it's since that your stuff went up and my stuff went up, and I think there was more video of that track than there had been in other tracks in previous years because there's also all the cell phone footage from the stands, and there were some of the other teams that were shooting from the pit area.
yeah,
And I've seen a lot of people say they want to do that event this year. So hopefully, as long as they run the class, and maybe even bigger class of stock tough trucks this year.
I think this year was one of the biggest fields I've ever seen at Bloomsburg. So if it gets bigger next year, well, this year, we're gonna have. How many trucks do you think we had down there last year?
Just in the stocks or in both classes? Because
It was a lot.
the modified class, I want to say was like 18 or 20 trucks, and then the stock class, I can't remember, but there were a lot of pairings. Until, like, of course, Sunday afternoon, a lot of the trucks were dead and gone, but Saturday night when they ran them, when they were all in the field running, it was a big trucks.
Yeah. Urban Explorer in the chat says we need a win this year, Charlie. And I'll try. If I can get a good trailer this year, I plan on pretty much running flat out. And I've been on two wheels a lot of times, like last year and the year before I took off for for a break, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I don't roll it, but it it's a reality. It happens, you know.
The You reminded me that that role. You remind me of Border Patrol's role, and I remember afterward we talked to him the next day,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I hope those guys are coming back because I know that truck was a yard sale.
Mm-hmm.
That twisted that chassis, but that was a weird roll because everybody it looked like you were standing actually closer to it than we were. I think everybody thought he overjumped, but Dorsmer had done the same jump,
Yeah.
like literally 10 seconds earlier.
Yep.
The center of Conway's tire blew out, like that, or the center of Conway's wheel exploded. Like it literally, that's what flipped the truck over. The
Yep.
right front tire popped off when he landed. Otherwise, he probably would have been okay. It would have been a hard landing, but he would have been fine. Those trucks land nose down like that all the time. But I remember watching it in slow motion at the hotel that night. We were looking, and the wheel came before the chassis dug in.
Yeah.
Long story in slow mo time. It happened real fast.
Yeah. What happened was it blew out the center of the wheel, and that wheel was aluminum, and it also bent the studs on that wheel, like on the axle.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering if the studs that bent is what broke the wheel, and then that's when it dug the frame into the ground and tipped it over.
yeah,
Like,
and it was, and we were looking. If he had over jumped straight nose down, it actually probably would have been a more violent crash than it was. Pretty violent, but it dissipated a little bit because it twisted when it landed because the wheel came off instead of it just lawn darting like that. But I couldn't see it from where I was. I was behind the stage because the court around the equipment back there, and but you could feel, I could hear it and I could feel it, and I saw the tailgate, the Pronet, the tailgate go past the stage, and I knew he had done something, and then I remember on Sunday too, Thomas Faust had that real crazy
he
nose
almost did
over.
the same thing.
Yeah, and he drove out of it, but ended up he damaged the truck, but he came back the next round. But I I had debated putting a camera down there on the fence, and I really regret not doing it on Friday night because I was waiting till the race to do it, and then once he endoed his truck, I decided to put a camera down there, and we lucked out with this real nice shot of Thomas landed right in front of the camera. But
Hmm. And we all thought he rolled it. Well, we thought he rolled or something at first, but he just ended up getting a really nice save, almost rolling over.
yeah, it looked like and again where I was standing, all I could see was the back end of the truck in the air, and it was it was neat though because we were able to it was nice having you there too with us there because we were able to kind of help each other out because we couldn't see the whole track from either position.
Yeah, they're
With
blocked off by some construction equipment and tractor trailers. But so
and then the back section of that course was really exciting, but it was hard to see. It was so dusty. But then Nick had the points lead coming in and just drove right into that K rail on end, and
yeah,
uh,
I'm really kicking myself over not running that course this year. I think the CJ7 would have done really good there.
yeah,
But Nick won Lima and Indianapolis, and then Pat Winchester won Bloomsburg, right?
yeah. Nick won 2 out of the 3, and I think I think a qualifying. I think the Lima qualifying session is what made that so close coming out of Bloomsburg. If I remember, Pat kind of explained to us because he wasn't sure coming out of Bloomsburg he had the points lead,
Yeah.
and it's so tight. I wish they had a couple more races on that series because it's real tight in 3 races. It's kind of it's not over before it starts, but there's not time for it to really build and go.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I had at least 4 or 5 races. It would be nice, but
Yeah, I'd like to also someday see if the. Would be cool to someday see if they would have a points series for the stock class. You know?
yeah, that would be neat, especially with there's like those of you who have actually because you have the guys that show up with trucks, and then you got you guys that invest in your equipment a little bit. You have like the Creases who have
Yep.
Cadillac Jeeps in there.
Yeah.
They seem unstoppable on certain courses, and then but it's we've we've gotten to do a lot with those kind of like touring stock trucks, and it would be neat to see them actually get some big money to run for.
Well, even just for bragging rights and the trophy of a championship would be awesome.
Yeah,
But all right. How about you? You have anything you want to talk about?
not much really. I mean, we just everything's been so up in the air. We just changed a lot from last year because I went from having a full time job to now I do this full time. So it's been actually less content, more work, which is good, but it's made it harder to see down the road. Whereas before I had the day job, so it was like I could kind of tell what was coming. Now it's a little more stressful, but it's been worth it. It's a nice learning experience.
Yeah. All right. I think we'll wrap it up a while. Unless I'll give the chat a minute or two if they want to ask Nick anything. And if you want to, Nick, feel free to tell everyone about your YouTube channel again.
Yeah, it's Back Channel Productions on YouTube. Back Channel Productions, all one word, I believe, on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been it's been growing slowly. It's actually finally got a little kick. Um, like doing some of these interviews, like with you, and I think I did one with Crush This, and then
Yeah.
V2 Kids has actually helped us grow quite a bit because we've gotten to help out Mikey a little bit here and there, and they're right up the road from me, so uh, that's been a big help. So you'll see a lot of Overkill and Black Stallion on there. That's why those guys are 45 minutes north of me, which is
Nice.
why that's up. Uh, there's some other stuff coming. We're working on a documentary on the Thunder National series we've been working on for about 3 years now, but it's just going around and getting all the interviews. It's been a lot of work, and then we hopefully will have a lot more tough truck stuff this year. I'm really hoping because I really do like doing that stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of takes care of itself as far as kind of conducting where it goes. But yeah, it's Back Channel Productions, all one word, on YouTube. So check that out and subscribe.
Yeah, it's a really good channel too. You do a great job with the commentary on those videos. I enjoy watching them.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, we like checking yours out too. I always go there to see what's been going on. You always have better crashes than I do, so I end up on your channel a lot of time.
Well, I have a good camera. It really helps with the quality of the videos. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that probably helps. But yeah, you'll get you'll my freaking mind went blank. You know what I mean? Doesn't that suck when that happens? But yeah, you'll definitely. I'm looking forward to your videos this year. So, all right, I'll see you at the next events.
All right, thank you.
Maybe Bloomsburg or something like that.
To Bloomsburg, hopefully before that, but probably Bloomsburg if not.
Yeah, I think you said you're not going to Harrisburg, right?
Right now, no. I'm hoping I'm the event we're doing is not content, so I'm missing Harrisburg. Harrisburg's one of my favorite events to go to.
Okay.
But
Oh,
hopefully we make it. But it's really up in the air right now.
All right. I'm gonna let you go a while, and like I said, I hope I see you at the Bloomsburg, and maybe get you some good footage. Who knows? Maybe be winning Bloomsburg.
Well, hopefully we'll see you there.
All right. Thanks again for doing this, Nick.
Thank you.
All right. See ya. Bye.